Man, oh man. I really thought I was done covering this whole Windows 1809 update shenanigans, as most of the info had already been processed and I saw no need to continue talking about it. But I feel like I need to make a giant sign that has me next to this update and just says vindicated, because we've got some information and it proves some points that I've been making this entire freaking time. So, day of recording, I don't know exactly when this will go up, is October 9th. Ironically, 1809. And we got a Windows blog post from John Cable, the Director of Program Management for Windows Servicing and Delivery, confirming what we already knew about the Windows Update bug, being an issue, causing problems deleting files. Now, to put it in perspective, it was deleting files of 1/100% of users, based on their telemetry data of who uses specific features. It's not necessarily a hard measurement of who were actually affected so much as what their telemetry tells them, their spying tells them people were using the specific features that caused this issue. So while that is a very small percentage, obviously, that is still a ridiculous amount of users in the grand scheme of things based on how many people actually use Windows 10, and any data lost as a result of an update is unacceptable, as John Cable actually admitted, so that was pretty cool. But we also they figured out the root cause of it, and they're rolling out a new version of the update which fixes all of these bugs apparently, and they say that Microsoft support is available for free for those who wish to try to recover their files. So what had happened was it was an issue with the system known as known folder redirection, or KFR, which has been a feature for in Windows for a long time. So basically, if you're a user who had a very small solid state drive as your boot drive and you wanted to move your documents and your pictures and your videos over to a bigger hard drive so you still had plenty of space for your programs or games or whatever on your solid state drive, you would go to where it says Documents, go to Properties, hit Location, and tell it to move over to your D drive or whatever. Same thing for downloads, documents, desktop, pictures, videos, saved games, those kinds of folders, the user library folders that I referred to in previous videos. Whenever you did that, sometimes Windows would leave, based on what was accessed, would leave an older version, a duplicate version of that folder in your user folder, which could be kind of difficult if you're trying to find it from your actual user folder and you have two of them and you gotta go back and forth. Some people automatically, or on their own, just delete those anyway. Some people don't, however. I am one of those people, and I told you one of my downloads folders was deleted. That is because certain applications kept recreating that folder, and Windows would register it as the library, as a duplicate library folder for downloads, and that would be where some downloads for certain programs would save, and so I just left it alone and used it. Well, something set up in this update, something that was bugged in this update was that it was supposed to be clearing out those older folders if they were empty. However, it was apparently still doing it even if it wasn't empty, which is what happened in my case, is that I had duplicate download folders. One was a redirect to a secondary hard drive, and then one was still on the C drive. And so it deleted that downloads folder. Well, it deleted the contents of the downloads folder. For whatever reason, the folder itself remained, which is, again, not what it was supposed to do at all. And it deleted the contents of that folder, thinking that it was empty and no longer used. So this is what has affected most people. This could also affect people if you did some stuff with OneDrive as well. If you used an early version of OneDrive where you told it to auto-save all of your pictures and documents and stuff to OneDrive, it basically set up that known folder redirection itself within OneDrive, or if you just manually redirected those folder locations to OneDrive to sync to the cloud, then if you had anything left over in those old versions of the directories, it would delete them. So those are the main use cases that it would affect. But the funny part is everyone jumping in saying, why would you store data on the C drive? Everyone knows not to do that. This is why I save elsewhere. Ironically, if you were setting your user library folders to save to another drive and just happen to still have data left over on the old one, that is what actually caused it. So the people who just keep their data in their default folders of the documents and pictures and things like that are actually a lot safer from this bug than us power users who were manually redirecting things anyway. It was really funny how many people spoke out against that, and I already had a hunch that redirecting those folders to other drives was part of the problem. Turns out to be true. it's really funny. I got it has been an interesting weekend because those videos got far more comments than I'm ever used to getting, which was healthier for me because that meant that I just got to ignore comments because I literally could not keep up with them. And I've been trying to work towards, ignoring comments more and more because most of them are a toxic wasteland. But there were so many that were all on high horses about keeping your documents and pictures folders off of the C drive, and that was actually part of the problem. Now, obviously, if you did that and didn't leave any data left over and didn't care about it, then that's fine, but a lot of people do, and whatever. So they are fixing the update. It is dropping now. I believe they're releasing the fixed one, and you can contact Microsoft support. Good luck to you. I don't expect that to go well. If you want free help to try to recover your files, don't expect much. But no, this wasn't a conspiracy theory. This wasn't me just making this up or lying, as a lot of very, I'll say, unstable individuals seem to think and accuse and really hunt me down on different platforms to tell me, which was freaking hilarious since by that point Microsoft had already confirmed the issue was there. And no, I mean, it wasn't people who were just being dumb and keeping their data on their C drive that were affected. I don't know. Obviously, again, it affected a small percent of people, but that's the thing. With all update bugs, they don't affect everyone. Very rarely will a botched update affect everyone. That has never been the case. In fact, other than 1709 taking 6 months trying to install 5 times a day on my machine and never doing it until I did a fresh reinstall after 1803 came out, most of the growing pains of the update bugs, other than little hitches and frustrations and lots of other Windows 10 issues, but the actual updates causing major problems have never affected me before. It doesn't mean I'm going around dismissing people's issues or talking down to them or insisting that they can't possibly have a problem because I didn't. It works on my machine, so it can't be a problem. Oh, the internet's funny. But there you go. I'll have links to the Windows blog post in the description down below. It has a lot of good information if you want to figure out if you were affected and why or why not. And those who were actually syncing their data to OneDrive, your data in OneDrive was still safe in most cases. And so using OneDrive was not the problem, as some were insisting. Using OneDrive may have saved most of your data. It is whatever data you had left over in the older folder that would have been deleted. And a lot of that probably was actually going to, those who were most likely to be affected probably might have actually been those who upgraded from Windows 7, or Windows 8 maybe, because Windows 7 and 8 had a different approach to the libraries where they tried to group multiple, Windows 10 still does it, but Windows 7 really emphasized grouping multiple folders that counted per category, like your C documents folder and whatever you redirected documents to, it grouped that together in one library, and so people used to that would not have thought to move the files from the older directory to the new one because it kind of shows them all together, so there was no real reason to. So just wanted to share the information to you. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe for more tech education. If you're going to keep accusing me of being a liar and a conspiracy theorist and whatever, feel free to leave your comments because no one's going to care. Sorry. It was a really rough weekend with regards to non-YouTube things, so it's just really funny to see how angry people got for me literally just sharing information about an update. I'm EposVox. I'll see you next time.